I'm Kamali, taking you through the stories people are talking about and sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. The cave rescue in Thailand, we have a behind-the-scenes look at how journalists cover the biggest news story on the planet. An Iranian woman detained for dancing in her bedroom and posting to Instagram. We asked what this tells us about Iran in 2018. A new Turkish kids show designed to help kids with hearing problems. And an animal doing stuff for Monday is a cat that's head and shoulders above the rest. On top of our newsfeed, the Thailand cave rescue. Now, some of the boys have got out okay. They've been trapped for nearly 2 weeks in a darkening cavern with water rising and the air diminishing. Their rescue is remarkable. Now that a team of 90-plus divers have got some of those out safely, there are some still left. Our John Joe Regan is in a makeshift town set up in the shadow of the hill where the cave is. He's been across all the developments and sent us this on what it's like for a journalist to cover one of the biggest stories of the year.
So this here is where we've been getting all the information we can about the operation that's taking place at the moment high up on the mountain. And to hear all of that information, the world's press have arrived here. This is Channel 7 from Australia. They've come from all over the world and they're waiting on every single word that comes out of that building there. We've had officials coming here over the last 2 days or so to tell us what's been going on in there. But I just want to show you this as well. This is an army of volunteers. Here they've got everything from sweets to rice and some great food as well. Sawadee Ka! And over here you've got the water's being brought off. And this is all for us. This is free food that's been brought here for the press. And if we skip through this way, through this gap, I want to show you what they're cooking up over here as well. Some incredible noodle dishes here. Saudi Ka. And as I say, this is all for us. This is to keep us fed and watered. Over here, this was the breakfast table. Some incredible fried banana, I must say. Saudi Ka. And over here, more press as well. But I want to show you this view. I want to show you this view up here. This is the mountain. This is where the boys are at the moment. It's been an unbelievably difficult rescue mission to try and get these boys out. The experience of the divers is of the highest level and they've been finding it incredibly challenging. But they've realised that now is the time to do it because we've started to get some really, really horrific rainfall as well, and that can really hamper the efforts to try and get them out. But everyone here, particularly as well as the families that are waiting for them, are hoping for the best.
And of course, there's been response to this latest stage of the rescue effort on social media. This one from Vina T talks about those who've been taken out so far. They've been given the names Mu 1, 2, 3 and 4. Mu referring to the fact they're from the Mu Pa Academy. That's the Wild Boar Academy in Thai. Now, the ordeal the boys have been through is reflected in this tweet reported by the journalist Jacob Goldberg. He says that teachers at the school that many of the kids went to are preparing themselves for when they return and that they will follow the guidelines of mental health professionals. And this cartoon's been doing the rounds. It's pretty self-explanatory and highlights the hopes of the Thai nation and many others around the world. And this one's great too, with a caption, "Not all superheroes wear capes, some wear scuba tanks." And you know that this thing has captured the world's attention when Elon Musk starts tweeting about it with this mini-sub he's made available to help. This is it, and it can apparently carry oxygen and is even big enough to carry a child. This video has been viewed millions of times since Musk posted it, but many are asking if it's small enough to fit through some of the passages in the cave complex. Some are as narrow as 15 inches across. Musk tweeted in response that the concerns to these have been dealt with. Now, according to divers who've made the passage, it's a yes. However, he said he has an exact replica that's inflatable so the entire path can be tested without the risk of blockage. And he added that a second one that is 30 centimeters shorter is almost complete. All right, let's take a look at what else has been trending on social media. The World Cup's favourite meme, this one of Neymar rolling, rolling, rolling, has now been taken on and spawned its own Neymar challenge. the internet. Kids are now doing Neymar exercises as part of their training routines.
I'm upset. 50,000 on my head is disrespect. So offended that I had to double check.
Well, he's upset, but will Drake's new album Scorpion being the first to reach 1 billion streams in 1 week help him out of his funk? It's 25 tracks long, and he has songs about his child, his troubled relationship with fame, and he's generally a paean to how hard it is to be Drizzy. I wonder if being number one will make things easier. Now he's top of the charts, he needs to be nice for what? Maybe it's all God's plan.
I'm the one who will. I'm the only one who will.
And Justin Bieber, yeah, he's the one whose name is trending after he reportedly proposed to and got engaged to the model Hailey Baldwin at a resort in the Bahamas. An official statement is expected soon. It's led to people saying, I thought he was dating Selena Gomez. Is it too late to say sorry? And also stuff like this. Now, an Iranian woman called Madeh Hojabri was detained by police after this video was posted on her Instagram. She was arrested for this and other videos she's posted of herself dancing to Western music in her bedroom without a headscarf. Now, she's 18 and has since apparently appeared on Iranian state television apologising for it. Well, Soraya Lenny is with us and joins us now. So, Soraya, what do you make of this arrest?
Well, it depends which angle you're looking at it. Is she a good dancer or maybe something else? Now, when it comes to Iran, there's this one quote allegedly uttered by Hassan Sabah on his deathbed: nothing or everything is true and everything is forbidden. Nothing or everything true for the government, everything forbidden for the people. Now, a lot of young Iranians have been pushing the boundaries recently of what hardliners consider acceptable. We see this young girl, young gymnast who's been posting these videos on Instagram. She's got thousands of followers of her dancing and doing other kinds of things to Western music, Iranian music, some traditional dances as well. She's one of 4 people who have been arrested in the last couple of weeks for doing the same thing. It's not the first time this has happened. In 2014, if we remember, Pharrell Williams' Happy, 6 young Iranians danced around to that in Tehran on some rooftops, and they were arrested and given suspended sentences as well. So it's certainly making some headlines, but it's generally attributed to this periodic crackdown by the authorities, just to remind everybody who's in charge.
Absolutely. I mean, does it tell us anything we didn't know about the level of freedom that women in Iran have?
Well, it depends how you interpret it, really. Now, for somebody who's lived in Iran and spent a lot of time there, look, as I said, you know, everything's forbidden, but nothing's forbidden at the same time. This is very normal in any house that you'll find around Iran. Right now, there'll be people dancing and singing and doing all kinds of other, perhaps a little bit more nefarious things, to be quite honest. It's not the image, though, that the Islamic Republic wants to portray of its people and of its young people, and it has really a lot of conservatives and clerics very worried about the direction that the young folk of Iran are taking.
Absolutely. And quickly, if you can, Soraya, do you think the young folk of Iran will be cowed by this news that this 18-year-old's been arrested for dancing in her bedroom?
No, actually what we've seen in recent times is the exact opposite. This veil of fear that once existed in Iran seems to have completely been lifted, not to sound like making it a cliche there or anything. What people are doing in response are going out and dancing in a street, filming themselves in solidarity. And this is something that's been happening more and more frequently in Iran. Whenever the authorities crack down, people go out and do the exact same thing to say, well, we don't care and we're not afraid.
Absolutely. Okay, Soraya, thank you for now. Now, a few months ago, we met with an activist called Benjamin Ladra, who was walking from Sweden to Palestine to raise awareness of the Israeli occupation. This is him in Istanbul on the day he came into our studio. Yeah, that's him, and yes, he is really tall. Well, now he's reached Palestine, but there's a problem. Take a look.
I was just denied entry into Palestine after walking for 11 months straight. They interrogated me for about 5 or 6 hours, accusing me of a bunch of things. And finally they decided to not let me in. And they thought I was lying. They were just asking a bunch of questions and I answered them. I never lied. They accused me of arranging a demonstration in Navi Saleh. They're scared that I was going to make a demonstration. journey continues. The activism is not over.
All right, let's take you around the world for some other stories you need to know this Monday. The 500 richest people in the world have been listed by Bloomberg, and there are a few surprises apart from the astronomical sums of money that these people have. Now, Jeff Bezos of the Amazon and Washington Post is top with $142 billion. Bill Gates has $94 billion, and then Mark Zuckerberg has $81 billion. The highest placed woman is Françoise Bettencourt-Meyers, who earns a third of the cosmetics conglomerate L'Oreal. She has $48 million in her account. Police in the United States have been using Twitter to try and get info on a 45-year-old unsolved murder. Under the hashtag Linda's Story, they've been posting this, which lays out details of her disappearance back in July of 1973. Now, some of the tweets go into detail about how her body was found, and they also say they've got a new lead, a photo of a man that they want to speak to in connection. The tweet has an image of the guy and what it may have looked like back in the 70s and what he may look like now. The United States tried to use its bullying position as the world's most powerful country to help companies that make baby milk formula. The World Health Organization was due to adopt a resolution that would encourage all nations to promote a mother's milk as the healthiest early food for an infant. But America, with the milk formula lobby at their back, got the WHO to water down the resolution. Russia eventually pushed it through. Gal Gadot, the actor who played Wonder Woman, has been to a children's hospital in Virginia dressed as Wonder Woman, to the delight of the little ones trying to get better. This is from a hospital employee's Instagram, and this is one from a doctor saying, "You are a true Wonder Woman." The kids loved it, and so did the staff. And these are from an account called Wonder Woman 84. Well, this is the former Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney, signing a waterboarding kit, whatever that is. It's been released as part of the promo to the actor Sacha Baron Cohen's new show called Who is America? Now, Twitter's deleted some 70 million accounts in 2 months. That's 1 million phony accounts every day that's been taken down. There are worries at Twitter HQ that their monthly user number will drop, and so their growth figures will be off. But that kind of pales in comparison with them wiping out bot armies and troll factories. And the tweeter-in-chief added his 280 characters worth, asking, will that include the failing New York Times and propaganda machine, the Amazon Washington Post, who constantly quote anonymous sources that, in my opinion, don't exist? They will both be out of business in 7 years. Yes, mate, and you'll be out of office in 2. A cartoon has launched on TRT Children's, designed especially for little ones with hearing difficulties. Have a look.
Ece, annesi, babası ve dedesi top oynadılar.
Dünyada tek tememin ya da çok özel yere sahip olmasının sebebi bilimsel verilere dayanarak yapılması. Ve işitme engelli çocuklara da, özellikle 0-5 yaş arasındaki işitme engelli çocuklara da son derece faydalı olacağını düşünüyoruz.
Babası eve geldi.
Mimikleri öğrenecekler, çocuklarla daha hoş birbirleriyle sohbet edebilecekler, iletişim kurabilecekler. İnşallah bunun gibi çok daha fazla projeler olur.
And our Animals Doing Stuff is off to a strong start this week with a cat who would not let his owner do a live TV interview without getting his mews across. Get it? A Polish professor was talking to Dutch TV about the political situation in Poland when his cat decided it had something to add, or rather distract, from the debate. The prof, whose name is Jerzy Targowski, carried on with his analysis despite a tail in his face and then the cat nibbling his ear. What a pro. The cat's name is Licio, by the way. All right, that's your lot from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to us with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. I'm at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.